Hey, Austin.
Hey, Trey.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We're going to do a SeatGeek ad.
Oh, yeah? You didn't like the last one we just tried to do?
No, I didn't.
Well, my name is Joe Q StubHub, and maybe you could convince me.
Look, Joe Q StubHub, buying tickets has been a confusing process for a long time.
That's what we do over at StubHub.
You make it tough for the people, but SeatGeek, they're different, Mr. StubHub man. Okay?
Well, that's why they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they've come along and made a great app. SeatGeek is always the first place I look for tickets, okay? Not one of you who are trying to shamboozle and wabizzle people.
Look, we offer a confusing and expensive experience.
Right, which isn't what people want, man. I got the SeatGeek app on my phone, and I used it the other day to buy tickets for said insert concert game here, and everything about SeatGeek is designed to make life easier for sports and music fans.
Well, if you want convenience, then the times sure have changed. I don't know what people want anymore.
Well, look, okay, SeatGeek does all the price comparisons for you by searching multiple ticket sites and ensuring that you get the best possible deal for your dollar. SeatGeek does all the work. And you save time and money, Mr. StubHub.
All right, you've convinced me.
Good. Best of all, for listeners of Super GamesCast 64, they get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. Download SeatGeek app, go to the settings tab and hit a promo code and enter the promo code SUPER. And SeatGeek will send you a $20 rebate after you've made your first ticket purchase.
Pretty rad.
Download the SeatGeek today.
Yep.
And do it.
Yeah.
Here's
what I do.
Yeah.
I find tickets for under $20, and then I scam the hell out of them, and they got to send me money.
That's not what SeatGeek's about. SeatGeek's about helping
SeatGeek will fill your pockets. That's their tagline.
Yeah. SeatGeek. Just do it.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, this is Nolan North, and I've already stopped listening to Super GameCast 64. You should, too.
Let's go.
How you doing, Austin?
Hey, Trey.
What's up?
It's podcasting.
It's just podcasting.
Yes,
just doing the podcast thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Super GamesCast 64. I almost said Filmscast again, but I didn't this time. Yeah, I know. This is the podcast. We talk about video games and all the topics and things that surround video games and all the things that apply.
Sure do.
Today we have a very special guest. We have the great Dan McDowell in studio. How you doing, sir?
Hello, Trey. Great to be here. Hello, Austin. What's going on?
So I think
You guys talking about games?
Yeah, just talk about the video games.
Yeah.
So I think about 99% of the people listening know who Dan McDowell is.
Now, Austin, you invented Regonk.com.
I did. I still run it. I let the...
You let it expire, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Because I think I'm going to buy that domain.
I bought the domain again. The hosting expired. I rebought it. It's back up, and you just need to wait for the new Regonk.com.
Oh, really? A reboot?
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted, as a guest here, I like to give gifts when I'm a guest.
Oh.
And so we had a few of these made up, and I wanted to present you with a gift. And as many of those as you need.
Thank
since
you so
invented
much.
it. These are the Bad Radio matches that...
I think I've seen before.
There you go. We're trying to bring matches back, bring smoking back.
Yeah, make matches great again, right?
Wait a minute.
No one promotes smoking.
This is licensed material.
And that's why I'm giving you those. So now, if you accept those, then you cannot sue me.
Okay, we're even.
That's how it works.
I think that's how it works.
Totally
Yeah,
square.
totally how it works.
Plus, every time you hand one of these out, TC gets a little madder. So isn't that fun?
Always.
It's always fun to...
All right, I'm going to eat on the air while I'm here.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
We're having little eatsies, of course.
Dude, Ichi's greatness. Ichi's is the best.
So what are we doing? What are we talking about?
So
Vids.
We're talking about all the video games. So, Austin, what have you been playing? We're usually at the beginning, we kind of talk about what we've been playing, but we want to get to you very quickly. So
No, I want to hear.
All right, yeah, I mean, Austin.
Just still a lot of Overwatch. My girl has taken over most of that.
Yeah.
Because I jumped on the Zelda DLC, and I've been playing that. It's been frustrating the hell out of me. She's started to tear it up over there. I usually just play like two characters. I pretty much just play Mercy. She's gone all over the map. She plays with characters that people hate, and she's really good at it. And so she's off in San Fran right now with the Overwatch Championships.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm just here playing this really frustrating Zelda deal.
Your girlfriend is a gamer?
She is now, I guess. We just started playing Halo about a year ago. She got really into it. Now we're playing a new game called Overwatch. And
But now she's so into it, she's at like a
yeah, she's better than me.
competitive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like playing in it or watching it?
Playing it.
Wow.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
It was a quick turnaround, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I've been playing the Zelda DLC, and it's super frustrating in a good way. It's really difficult. It's the Cave of Trials, just like in Twilight Princess, where you had to go through the increasingly difficult rooms to get through, and I can't make it past the 8th one out of like 50, and I keep dying. And no matter how far you get, you always have to start over with everything.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So
Have you
remember
downloaded it yet? Because you said that.
I've not downloaded it yet. I've been kind of working on another video
Okay.
quickly. I've been watching. Now, Dan, do you know much about the Nintendo Switch at all, or no? It's the Austin can bring it out. It's that new Nintendo portable console. It's done really well. It's been.
I know
doing
it was
really
the next
well.
big thing.
Yeah, and there it is.
Yep.
And so
There it
that's the
goes.
next big thing. And I kind of feel bad because I told you a few years ago to buy a Wii U. Now they got another one out there, so I kind of feel a little bad. But it's still a good console. I guess your family likes it.
But they're not making new stuff for it, right?
No, not
Yeah.
anymore. No, it's all going to be on the Switch. That's their new thing. But it's been doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had new orders up on Amazon the other day, and they sold out, I think, within like 2 minutes again.
Yeah.
They can't keep the stock up.
Which they say that, but I see them at GameStops and Targets all the time, though.
Your mortal enemy, Kirk, has been trying to find one for weeks, and we've been calling around
Really?
everywhere. Yeah, we can't find them
All
anywhere.
right.
I don't know what you're seeing.
Maybe it just might be boxes. Maybe that.
Because they have to have one on display. One of the Targets told us that.
When I was watching your house, Dan, I was at a Target over there, and I did see in South Lake, I did see Switches.
Should have bought him one.
Yeah, I probably should have bought one.
Yeah.
Bought one and sold it on eBay's.
There you
You
go.
know?
Should have bought one and left it at my house.
Yeah, I could have done that too. I could have done that.
Instead, you left dead plants.
Did the plants die?
No.
Okay, good.
They're great.
Okay, I didn't hear any segments about it, so I thought I did good.
Right.
Good job.
That's how you can tell.
Yeah, when no one talks about it, I did good.
Mm-hmm.
So I really haven't been playing much. I want to get back on Horizon Zero
Video
Dawn
stuff.
Yeah, been watching Metal Gear Scanlan, which is I'm trying to get ready for a Metal Gear Solid 2 video, and I'm trying to. I've just been because I've played it before. I'm just waiting to rewatch it, and also they're doing commentary, so they'll talk about movie references and stuff. So Giant Bomb, Metal Gear Scanlan, Dan Reichert and Drew Scanlon playing through Metal Gear Solid 2. That's all I've been doing.
Okay. And sending me memes.
Sending
nonstop.
you memes.
I see you removed Adam from the memes.
Yeah, he got really upset.
Did he really?
Yeah, he
On
did.
air,
he was,
did he?
He was yelling and screaming.
Sounds about right.
On Instagram, Dan, me, Austin here, and Austin's friend, and I guess my friend too now, Adam, because we do a podcast together, the Films Cast. We all started sending each other. I started sending Austin memes and
Every day.
every day, and then started sending Adam the same memes and didn't like it.
He's got no time for memes.
He doesn't. He's got a girlfriend, all that.
I don't know how you have the time for all these memes. It's like it's really just those two accounts too. What is it? Trash Can Paul.
Trash Can Paul and
Steve?
Shithead Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is.
They've gotten the quality has.
It's 90% of it is trash, and it's that 10% that's gold.
But isn't that kind of the idea behind memes? You don't want gold memes just all day.
No.
You want garbage stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Dan, how you doing? Now, so if you don't know, I'm sure 99% of the people listening know. If you don't, Dan McDowell is the host for Bad Radio, which is one of the major shows at the radio station I work for, Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket.
Tier 1 show.
Tier 1 show. Dan is a person I look up to greatly. I would say he is, on the people on Bad Radio, he's probably the most open-minded about things like YouTube and video games, and you're always wanting to put in segments about video games on the show, and I thought it'd be cool to bring you on because you always seem to want to talk about the industry, and so I thought it'd be cool to kind of pick your brain as someone who's older and you have daughters and and you're kind of a dad, you've played video games, but now you're a dad and you're trying to, make sure they're playing games that are appropriate and just sort of, I guess, your overall opinions about video game culture. And you also brought up a study from the Pew Research Center, I think that's what it's called, that did a study on games and video gamers and their attitudes towards people's attitudes towards video games and sort of certain demographics. So.
And my video game claim to fame, or one of them, is that I was when my second kid was born, it was a C-section, so that means the wife has to stay overnight at the hospital. And since we had a first kid, I couldn't stay there with her, which I was very torn up about, that I really wanted to support her at the hospital. But I had to go home. So I went home, and by 8 o'clock that night, I was online playing Tiger Woods golf on my PS4 with the dude I played with in California.
There you go.
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
We had a standing game every night, and even on the night of my second daughter's birth, I did not miss that game. I played like 300 consecutive days or something. It was great.
It's true.
So that's all I got.
That's true love right there.
That's my story.
Yeah. So Austin.
So
Austin. So Dan.
What's up?
So that.
Back to you, Trey.
Back to me. So I'm really getting really bad at interviews. I feel like I get in interview mode. I'm not as calm.
Well, do we have to interview?
No,
Let's just talk.
yeah,
We're friends,
talking,
are we not?
We're just
pals
talking.
here. Would it help
We're
if I
coworkers.
Coworkers.
came over here again?
No, don't come over here.
Okay.
Please don't do that.
You guys want to be on the same side?
We can be on
This
the
is
same
better.
Side. Stop. I feel relaxed now. Thank
Okay,
you.
good.
Do you want me to present the Pew Research Center?
Yeah,
thing?
because you brought it up. So I mean, if you wanted to,
I'm just kidding. You got it in your hand.
No.
What do you got?
so you
I'm
guys
trying to
were-
remember off the top of my head. We did this a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, you guys were discussing, I guess, certain attitudes and I guess
There's just
general-
demographic breakdowns about who plays games,
right.
where we play those games now. Like,
Mhm.
are we on our phones? And the amount of women that play games, I think, is way, way bigger than when I was more in my your age, I suppose, right?
Mhm.
When I was in my 20s. For instance, it would have been hard to find a girlfriend who wanted to play the same video games as me and was good, because there were girls that would play, whatever game system we had, but they were always bad.
Yeah.
And they always wanted to be into it, and maybe they were also, we'd sit around smoking pot or something, playing video games all night, and the girls wanted to be involved, but they were just not good at it.
Mhm.
But, we let them play.
Yeah. And yeah, it's definitely changed. And I think what's interesting about these stats, I don't know if you've looked at, I guess it does break down from mobile, right? It says mobile games are involved, because I would like to see the numbers without mobile, because I feel that might be the big spike. Because
Yeah.
I do think that more girls play now than ever.
Well, and
But-
it was girls that would have identify themselves as gamers.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is different than my wife always on her phone
Right.
playing Words with Friends or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah,
That's not a gamer.
No, and they, I guess, I'm trying to look here at the notes, because they do have that broken down. So it says men who identify as gamers, 50%, play video games, 50%, and women who would identify as gamers are 6%, and who play video games, 48%. So it's still lower, but it's still a big number. And I know we did a segment on this. George DiGianni had his lackey on, and they were
Yep.
talking about video game addiction, and they're looking at these numbers and scoffing at them. But it's really not that ridiculous. There's a lot of, especially on YouTube, there's plenty of girls playing video games and girl personalities, and I think games are now becoming more geared towards women. We're starting to see more of these. I know, TC's wife even plays I guess, what's it called? Stranger. No, it's not Stranger Things, but
Life is Strange?
Life is Strange. Yeah. And so there's a lot more. It's not all shooting people in the face anymore. Games are a lot more story and a lot more characters, and
And I don't think that's indicative of trying to aim towards women. I
No.
think it's just they're making games that aren't exclusively aimed at men
right,
anymore.
and they're more mature. Yeah,
And
I'd say.
that's good. I think it's good for the art form. I think
Mhm.
that we need more storytelling and less just titters and gore.
titters and gore. But I still think the majority of people, in their 50s think it's that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Which is, I think, interesting with Dan, who I feel like you want to kind of explore this more, and, maybe not, but, you're interested in, I guess, the demographic breakdown as far as what this research is saying.
Well, I thought it surprised me
Yeah.
that a lot more women are playing video games
Mhm.
now, and I'm not, though, shaking my head and society is dying because I see lots of people playing video games.
Right.
I don't think I've ever been that, and maybe because I was a kid who was playing lots of video games.
So what did
And
you
was
play as a
told-
kid? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, back then, way back when I was a little kid, it would be Intellivision, which was a sports-based game where most people had an Atari, and I had the Intellivision because it was better at sports. And it's awesome to pick one up now if you can find an Intellivision. You know, they sell those single little packs you can plug into your TV and get 50 games on there. And, I mean, it's so horrible. It's like Pong. It's worse than Pong almost.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to, you know, there's 8 Pong things and that's a football field or something. So I guess I played that. And then, of course, Nintendo. Is that the one with Sonic the Hedgehog and whatnot?
Oh, that's Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis, I had that. And then my Nintendo system. But, yeah, I mean, I would just wear them out. You know, whatever I had would play all the time. Hours, any free hour you had. During college, I would, you know, if you're not in class, you go play video games with your friends. And so that's why I guess I'm not alarmed at people playing video games, because I figure, well, you're just killing time in some way, right?
Yeah.
And that's what people are doing now, too. It's just way more advanced and probably way more awesome video games. There's probably more, you're probably using your mind a lot more as well. That, you know, if you're trying to, you know, get into a certain thing or solve certain problems, I would guess that it's probably better for you now than the crap I was playing.
Yeah, and that's actually something they brought up in the Pew Research is, I wish I had this sorted out better, Dan. That would have been probably a good idea.
Well, you didn't have time to prep.
No time, you know. No time to prep whatsoever. Just busy. And, yeah, because I feel that there is a definite generation gap of people who think it's a waste of time. And I guess the waste of time thing, actually, I know Junior and I think, George was out, so it was Junior and Gordon were talking about it.
Craig used to make fun of us because we would bring I can't remember which system it was now then, but we would bring PS3 or something on the road when we went to cover the Super Bowl in our first Super Bowl coverage years back in 2002 or so.
Right.
And we, you know, or at training camp, whenever we took a trip, I would bring my system and me and Bob would play video games because, you know, it's fun to do. And yeah, those guys would make fun of us.
There's a definite, very sharp generational gap. Like people my dad's age, I think is only probably about 10 years older than Dan. He didn't grow up with any video games. He was a few years before that. And so to him, it's for nerds, it's completely foreign, and it's a waste of time. And then you get to people in their 40s, and they grew up with them, and they're clued in to the fact that it's not just like this pot-smoking, jerking around time waste.
Sure.
Much.
Yeah, and I guess
I mean, it is that.
It can be.
It can
It's
be
not
for sure,
just that, though.
Right.
And there can be something redeeming to come out of it.
It's the same reason that people like 50 and older are so prejudiced, I think, against like transgender people, is because they have one view of it in their mind from when they were young. So like they have one view of video games, which is like, oh, nerdy and waste of time. And they see transvestite or like transgender as like a big burly man in lipstick and a wig trying to go in and molest people in the bathroom, not realizing it's evolved over the years.
Right.
They're just stuck on that old notion.
Sure. It's totally the same thing.
And is it that much worse than breaking out Boggle or Scrabble or Monopoly or some kind of a board game that we used to, or the older people too, would definitely break out and spend a few hours with it on a night?
No, and I think it's also just entertainment as well. Like it's movies, TV, sports. It's all in the entertainment bubble.
Yeah. We're all trying to kill time between times
Life
we
and
sleep,
death.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the I guess the demographics on that are, 26% say it's a waste of time. That's true for most games. True for some games and not others. 33% say it's a waste of time for, I guess, some games and not others. Not true for most games is 24% of people think it's a waste of time, and then unsure is 16%. That's interesting, the true for most games, not others, because I could fall in between the most games, not others, and not true for most, because I feel like it's putting in the mobile, right? And I feel the mobile games are a waste of time. Now, a waste of time doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. It's just you're wasting time.
They're designed to just kill time.
Yeah. So I think a lot of those mobile games are definitely in that category.
Yeah.
Whereas, you're playing something
like Bubble Pop or Candy Crush.
Exactly.
And I'm definitely a victim of those.
Sure.
Because I used to love Tetris too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's certainly a waste of time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and all a waste of time means is just you're wasting time.
Because those mobile games are designed to get you to just keep playing.
Yeah.
They're not designed to get you to have a deep experience.
Right, 100%.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Like the enjoyment just comes from the feeling you get of playing on mobile games.
And they're also kind of designed, you're just saying, to kind of hook you, kind of
Right.
like a drug, like you're drinking soda.
It uses the incentive ladder to keep you one step away from achieving what you want, so you'll just keep chasing it.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess the big number is half of American adults play games. 10% consider themselves gamers, so that's 51% do not play games. The other 49% play video games. 38% of people play but don't identify themselves as gamers, and then 10% say they're gamers.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, that makes sense, I would say, because I think I was talking to a young kid, one of my sister's friends who's younger, and I'm like, do you play video games? He's like, yeah, I play, Madden and Call of Duty. And I don't think he would consider himself a gamer, but it's becoming more just like, it'd be more like hey, do you watch movies? Yeah. Are you a film buff? Not really. Yeah, it's just becoming more of a everyday
I feel like that
thing.
term is kind of getting outdated.
I don't like
too.
that term
It's more of
either.
a 2007 era term.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer dude, back when it was like this boys club kind of thing. Like,
Sure.
I play games all the time, but I don't consider myself a gamer.
Yeah, it's kind of a lame term to use. I know TC was saying that in that subject as well, that topic.
Does it mean you competitive game?
No, it's just labels. I guess kind of labeling yourself as one thing is.
Okay, so
kinda
you're saying more
short-sighted.
people are it. They're just not admitting to it in
Yeah.
the research.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no solid definition of what a gamer
Yeah,
is.
because I think if you play video games because I had a friend told me once, I'm not really a real gamer, but I'm like, you don't say that. You're just you like video games. It doesn't matter if you're a hardcore gamer or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just if you like it or not, just like anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess, did you have anything else on that Pew Research you wanted to discuss, or I didn't know if you want to go in depth on anything at all.
No, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Hand it over here. I'll just skim through it. But
I mean, mainly the
what jumped out when we were doing the segment on the radio?
Well,
It was
I guess the
female
violence
stuff.
also. People talk. Yeah, the female stuff's interesting, and I think that has a lot to do with mobile. But I also do think there are a lot more girls playing and accessibility.
What was the violence thing?
The violence, people saying, do video games cause violence? And it was definitely skewed by age. It shows here that the younger the person, they say it's less likely to cause violence, and the older the person, say more likely. And I think they've done research saying it doesn't cause violence.
There's no
correlation between
there's
playing
no
a game
evidence, at
and
least.
violence. But like any media, I think you definitely, it can, if someone has that trait in them to be violent,
Could exacerbate
it could
it.
exacerbate that. Yeah.
I mean, look at as we're gonna watch Bowling for Columbine this
Mhm.
weekend, and that's a big part of it. Is a lot of fingers were pointed at Doom and violent video games about that. Oh, if they hadn't been playing these games, they wouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure because they built their own Doom levels of their school and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was an outlet for them, but there's no way it caused that. That would have happened if video games existed or not.
Well, I think also they were imitating the Matrix when they wore the big. You guys seen the Matrix? Of course.
Yeah.
Wore the big overcoats with with the guns
Yeah.
in them. So did that cause it?
I mean, it
Probably not.
Well, that's the point. You're
yeah,
saying if
yeah.
that's you're predisposed to be that kind of a person anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to happen one way or another.
other outside influences are causing. It would have been a different form of whatever they did
Yeah.
instead of the Matrix.
because there are definite games where I kind of get not sick, but like, okay, this is like when Grand Theft Auto 5 implemented the first person mode. It totally changed
Yeah.
like how you felt about the violence. I thought because it was more personal.
It's very gratuitous.
Yeah,
at
and it's like,
points.
okay, I don't feel comfortable playing this. I'm going to put it back in third person. But I feel like there's enough of a lot of games. There's enough of you can tell what's real and what's
Right.
not.
You have to take it with context, too.
Yeah.
A game like Grand Theft Auto, I can see why people are getting upset because it's realistic. You're running around with a gun shooting innocent people.
Sure.
But like Dead Space is horribly graphic. People getting ripped to shreds and stuff.
But what's
you-
the movie Alien?
Right.
You know?
And it's also just totally fake. You're in space fighting like mutated people and
Sure.
stuff. It's not gratuitous within that context.
Now here's an interesting one, which the public unsure. Do you have anything else to add? I guess on that, Dan.
No, go ahead.
Public unsure if video games portray minorities and women poorly. So this is portray. All right. So the people that think portray women poorly, 40% say is true for most games. So 14% of people say they portray women poorly in most games. 27% say true for some games, but not for others, and 16% say not true for most games. So most people are in the middle that, women are treated unfairly in some games, but not others. And then minorities treated poorly. 9% say true for most games. 20% say true for some games, but not others. 23% say not true for most games. So, and then 40%, 47% say unsure.
I think with the women aspect, it's definitely true. I think at least up until a few years ago, they were treated very poorly in games, just kind of used as eye candy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of any examples where minorities were.
Any Call of Duty game where you're shooting brown people, and even Uncharted, the first Uncharted, you're on an island shooting.
Yeah,
but
they're not being objectified to the levels that women typically are.
Right
in games.
Yeah, that's very true. I think things have definitely changed this year. I think most of the big game releases had women protagonists.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn had Aloy, and then you had
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider last year. Then you had that Nier and Automata.
Recore.
Yeah. So
does it have to do with who was creating games back?
I think so, definitely. Yeah.
Your young people, probably guys that weren't scoring women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Were creating these earlier video games, and they were
wish fulfillment.
Lusting after Pam Anderson type or something like that, and so they created that and put it in their games.
Yeah.
So they could look at them.
No, I 100% think that. I think the industry, it's still still white male, but I think it's matured as well.
Like, look at Overwatch. Look at the cast of Overwatch. Very diverse, and most of the women in there are not sexualized. And if they are, like Widowmaker, it's in her character, though, at least. Whereas, like, Tracer and everyone else.
You still get things like with Hideo Kojima and Metal Gear Solid, where it's this woman who is wearing barely a bikini,
strings,
and it's like, she's a plant. She has to breathe from her skin, so she can't wear any clothes.
It's the weakest excuse.
But yeah, I think it's definitely that. I think even still, though, these people are mostly men making the games, but I think there's more of a moral, I guess, compass to it nowadays, where it's like, okay, maybe we shouldn't make everything.
And there also is a monetary motivation as well, because you now open up a lot of female people to purchase your games.
And then, you see more women playing games.
Yeah, right on.
And I think with the minorities, that's also kind of changing as well. You're starting to see more. And people say it's not, but, I mean, it's like film and like anything. Any medium, it's a slow
half the games that come out are still grizzled white man with brown hair. But, I mean, you got Mafia 3 it was a black dude, wasn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't a good game, but yeah.
That's true.
Game.
As long as he's in there.
Yeah, as long as he's in there. So anyway, I think that's kind of all that really stood out to me was the kind of people's opinions kind of going more, video games becoming more acceptable, as far as a form of medium, even though.
Thanks for that report, Trey.
Yeah.
Do you guys sit around and read? Do you read books?
I listen to a lot of podcasts on. Oh, are you talking about like on video games or just in general?
No, not a video game book. No, just in general. Yeah. Do you sit and read books ever?
Yeah, I've got.
I'm not very good at reading books. I mean, I'm good at reading, but I'm bad at actually sitting down to read a book.
You actually have a book.
Yeah,
that you're
and
reading.
So once a day, I'll sit down and read 10, 20 pages. I'll slowly crawl through it. And,
have you read Ready Player One?
No, but everyone at the office has. Jason recommended
For real?
it highly. Yeah.
You guys haven't?
Yeah,
you haven't?
I need to. I know.
Jason did tell me, though, it's kind of 80s video game-ish.
Yeah, it's very 80s,
Yeah.
and I really want to know if you guys would like it.
Yeah, I need to read
because I loved it, and actually my kids loved it. And
Okay.
They certainly didn't grow up in the 80s.
Book report next week?
We can do a book report.
You won't read it?
No, I will. I'll read it. I'll buy it and read it.
Okay, we'll read it together.
I do need to read more.
Well, that's gay.
The
Buy
show's
one
pretty
copy.
good. Yeah. Just,
Okay.
hold hands together and read it.
Yeah.
Every other word.
Yeah, exactly. Read it out loud.
They're making a movie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Coming out?
Just wait for the
That was started last year, so yeah, I guess it'll be out next year sometime. It's a great. Really, I'm really interested in what you guys are going to think about it because
Okay.
I think it's awesome. And it's kind of a fun book and an easy read. Like, so if you're not a big reader, it's still very easy to read.
I read all the Harry Potter books. I'm a big reader.
How long ago was that?
A few years ago. No, I own
That's
a
a lot of
ton
words.
books.
Those are big.
Yeah, I own a ton of books.
Those are long.
You need to read them. You need to read them.
That's right. You told me to go to Harry Potter World.
Yeah, Harry Potter World's great. How'd
Which
you
I
like
did,
that?
and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah?
Did you get a butterbeer?
The best thing about Harry Potter World was a butterbeer.
It looks so good.
That's all we want to do is go back and get another butterbeer.
Yeah.
Like, why don't they open a butterbeer stand somewhere?
They should. I mean, they're amazing. It's just pretty much butterscotch, just sugar.
Yeah, it's probably just a big
It's
pile
great.
of sugar.
No, it's great, though. I mean, it's amazing.
I thought the whole experience was really cool, and I have never read a Harry Potter book
Yeah.
or seen a Harry Potter movie.
It's so weird.
But I've been around it enough.
It's so weird just to think that came from one person's mind, that whole place pretty much. You know, I mean, the how it looks is based on the movies, but as far as the world, it's all one person's imagination.
She was just sitting on the train one day, and it just came to her, some dark-haired kid with a wand.
Glasses.
Out on the train station, and it went from there, Trey.
Just
That's all
went
you got
from
to
there.
do.
Wrote it all on napkins.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Now
what
they're
happened.
stolen.
So that's what happened.
Yep.
And now she's...
Dead. R.I.P.
Well, I don't think so. No,
Oh,
is she?
Oh, what?
Oh, he hasn't heard.
Oh, she's not dead.
No.
She's alive, though.
I really don't care. If she's dead, that's fine.
No, she's not
It won't
dead.
bother
She's got
me.
a lot of money.
Yeah, she has a lot of money. So, Dan, I kind of wanted to talk more about just, you seeing video games today. Like, how do you, I guess, best way to start maybe is, like, how do you still play at all? Do you still play with your kids, or is it just mainly mobile, or do you kind of see what they play, and do you play
Once
with,
you get kids and they get older, yeah, I stopped my every night playing Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to play sports games. I would play the whole Dallas Stars season or something, and be excited when the new year came out and the new players who were actually on the team. And so I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I do waste time for sure with, like something online or something like Slither. I don't know if you know what that is. Slither.io.
I don't think so.
Is
It's like a horror game, or?
No, it's a game where it's really, I don't like to talk about it and tell people what I do in my spare time because it just shows I'm not doing something productive.
Is it the one where you absorb other circles and you get a bigger circle? You know
Yeah, but they're snakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not circles. And I could probably
thinking of a
pull it up
different
here
one.
real quick
All
and
right.
just show you. But it's like one that I was turned on to from my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, of course, the Wii, and especially because you told me a couple years ago, hey, get the Wii U. And then, like, probably 1 month later, they're like, all right, we're not going to make one more game for the Wii U.
Nice going, Trey.
Yeah. Well, you like the Wii U too, though.
Yeah,
So,
it had really good games.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's got good games, and it's good for playing with your kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
definitely.
if you have little kids and you love, Mario Kart's like the best game ever.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Slither.io, and I was turned on to this because of my, my kids, of course. And yeah, you just fly this snake around, and if I can kill another one, I'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then hopefully I get on the leaderboard. That's very exciting if I do that. And
This is like the exact same thing I was thinking of. This must be.
It's like Katamari
version.
Damacy a little bit.
Yeah, sort of.
I mean, yes, we can kill many hours, and you kind of look over here to see where the crowd is and try to get to that where there's some more action, and hopefully you can build yourself up pretty big and 10,000 or so, and then you start circling guys and tricking them, and it's everything's a waste of time though, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to say
Yeah.
it's there I died.
Oh, my
So
God.
it's hard to do it and talk and try to describe. So
The biggest probably waste of time is those clicker games like
The mayonnaise one?
yeah,
Right?
the man's where you just click, or the
Yeah.
there are a few now where there's a Breaking Bad one. It's called Clicking Bad, and you just click, and amount of times you click, you can maybe buy it's like based on Breaking Bad. You could buy a van, and then you click more, and you could buy more meth, and then the numbers just go higher and higher and higher, and then you can just let it run. You don't even have to click anymore. You can just let things run. It's like money accumulates, sales accumulate, and then you can prestige, and then it starts all over again.
Games like that are just like freebasing heroin, where it's just like it's down to its
it's
core,
down to the
addictive elements of
Yeah.
it. There was a game like that on mobile a few years ago that my friends and I all got into for like 3 days called Make It Rain, where you like you held your phone like this and you just swiped virtual dollars out.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and the faster you went, the more money you could do, and it was the stupidest thing. But it's fun.
It is fun.
Do you not consider mobile games?
I do. I guess
Yeah.
it's sort of
Like the words games, all that?
I think it's pretentious to say they're not. I think they are.
By definition, they're games.
Yeah, they're games. I don't want to pretend like I'm a guy who can give definitions on things. Yeah, they're definitely games. But I just feel like the Words for Friends is cool because you can play with your friends, and then it's an actual skill based kind of thing. But
it can also be done on paper.
Yeah,
which makes it not quite.
But it's cool though because you can play with friends and stuff.
Exactly.
But stuff like
so if you could replicate it on a board game, it's not really
sort of because I wouldn't consider like I have the Catan game on my phone, and I don't know if I would consider that like a video game. You know?
Yeah, I think the definition kind of I think they're kind of separate, mobile and video game in a way. I don't know. But yeah, that's not really up for me to decide.
It's whatever.
I guess when you
Madden and stuff like that, though.
Oh yeah, and that's that's
still into that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's Madden and Call of Duty. Like people who are really into video games kind of give them crap because they're the mainstream.
Yeah.
But I think that's important because you want as many people as you want to, be in part of your industry, or else it will die. So I mean, those games. I'm not that great at Madden. It seems it's too technical to me. Whereas I like things more arcadey because I used to play MLB The Show all the time, and then I just started to realize: am I really doing anything as far as? Am I really lining up these pitches right? Am I really throwing a fastball? Am I really getting strikes, or is it just numbers? Is it all random?
It's like NFL Blitz. I love that so much more than Madden.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't all, they didn't try to put a bunch of realism into it.
Yeah.
You could catch on fire and late hits and everything.
Yeah. Then the NFL squashed that.
Yeah.
Because, NFL Blitz, you could just
They squashed it?
Yeah. I mean, you can give people concussions in that game, technically.
You could just run all over the field and
Yeah.
you get speed boosts and everything.
I mean,
it's fun.
I think the NFL kind of ruined football games because it's now just Madden because no one else wants to buy the license. I guess you could do a football game, but Madden's so big now. Why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what NFL stands for?
No Fun League.
National.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? What were you going to
National
say?
Football League.
Oh.
Not for long.
No.
Nice.
Damn. Yeah. So also
MLB, because we play something on the Wii where they got crazy characters and you can jump real high and catch home runs sometimes if you have the jump boost. You ever play that one? You don't know what that one is?
No, but I'd be interested to see what it is because I do like baseball games.
It's an awesome baseball game actually. It's really fun.
It's not a Mario one, is it? Or
yeah.
Oh, it is.
You get the Mario characters and you'll have Toad pitching or something like that. And
Mario Sports Superstars
might be.
Yeah.
All right. I might have to get that. I might have to check that out.
Mario Tennis.
But yeah, they don't have a football equivalent. So
interesting.
Well.
So when you
let's take some calls.
So I guess when you what do you think about the industry today? I guess as far as video games go, like how do you feel about the games coming out now? Just seeing them from commercials and maybe hearing your kids talk about them, like. How do you see video games as an industry or as people that play video games? Being someone who's kind of separated from the, you don't play them yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely out of touch. You know what I mean? I have no idea what you guys are talking about when you're saying you're playing this game for a while and, breaking down those things in the beginning of the show. So that's number one. And I guess everything's become. I think it used to be there was just a couple of systems and you had to play whatever that was fed to you from those makers. And now it seems like, and probably just like TV is so fragmented, right? Now you have so many different places you can get your video games or going online. You can get way different, any site. You got slither.io or all these other things. So I don't know. It just seems to be booming. Also, I wonder, is it Stitch?
Twitch. Yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah, that's a streaming app, yeah.
The app that you can watch other people play?
Mm-hmm.
That's somewhat amazing to me.
Yeah.
It's pretty small, relatively, if you're talking about the big sports. but pretty big if you're talking about if you thought anybody would just watch someone else play a video game. Because I was turned on to that a while back, and by a guy who loves to play in these games, and he'll just sit and watch.
Are you talking about Hunter Swinson, right?
Yeah.
Because you've talked to him. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He's been on this show a few times.
Yeah, and well, he showed me the app, and this is a couple of years ago. Was telling me how this is gonna be blown up, dude, and you got to get in on this. And he's real enthusiastic about it, and I'm not skeptical. I mean, I'm always skeptical of the next big thing, but to be the big thing doesn't mean you have to take down the NFL.
Right.
You can still make tons of money and have, tons of impact. Having 50,000, because they'll have 50,000 people watching a video game.
Yeah. They'll have different personalities.
Like you guys could be playing against. Yeah, they have people that you actually know and are popular. So I think, there's this whole world. It's like anything. It's like Okie noodling or car sales or something. There's a whole world that you have no idea about. Obviously, you guys do have more of an idea about it, but that's the way I feel about it. That I'm just out of touch, and it's just passed me by. We interviewed Steve Wiebe recently from King of Kong. Have you seen that?
Have you seen that?
I know of it and all about it, but I haven't seen
I've seen a bit of it. I heard the interview, though.
Okay, so it's a video game movie.
Yeah.
And the movie basically is this guy who is like 30 or so, in his 30s, with a wife and kids, wanted to set a world record. And he was pretty good at Donkey Kong when he was young, when he was in college, and that was a big thing. So he got back into it, played it over and over, got his own machine, and broke the Donkey Kong world record. Anyway, he was on just talking about the same thing, how now there's guys that have surpassed his record or lapped it and played perfect games on Donkey Kong, and it's just gotten so far beyond him that he's not, even in the game anymore. And this is a guy who 10 years ago, worked to get the world record. So that's kind of what I feel like. It's just all exponentially grows so fast that you just can't keep up with. I don't think you can if you also have, a wife and two kids and extracurricular activities to do with them once they get a little older and an actual job and all that kind of stuff. It feels like you can't. Maybe you can.
I honestly, I feel like I can't even keep up, and I don't have a wife and kids. But just with jobs and a lot of these games are becoming so big, they're hundreds of hours experiences, and then you have games that people play professionally, and they're just there so you can play over and over and over again matches.
Hey, what are these things that like Cuban is investing in?
Yeah, esports, right?
These like actual teams or something.
Yeah, so I think NBA 2K is pairing up with the NBA, and they're actually doing, so you can play. They're making teams, so you can play as the Dallas Mavericks team, esports team.
Yeah,
and so you play as the Mavericks, and you can play other teams within the league. So I guess the NBA is partnering with NBA 2K17.
There's a lot of money to be made.
Yeah,
coming up and all that. Because it's on TV now and everything. They've got Counter-Strike and MOBAs on TV.
And that's the big thing right now is esports. And Tim Kraske is way more into that than I am. I can kind of talk about it in a very hands-off way, but I think even Rocket League, I think that might be the biggest thing. Dan, are you familiar with Rocket League at all?
No.
I guess Mike Soroy is big into it. It's pretty much a car soccer game, and it's really fun. It's fun to watch because it's pretty easy. It's soccer, but with rocket cars.
Dude, he leaves the office and does that until he goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And comes back.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I think that could be even the big thing that gets more of the mainstream in.
Yeah, because watching Dota or League of Legends, you have to be in the know for how that stuff works. But yeah, watching cars hit a big ball around is easy for everybody.
Yeah, and anyone can play, and we can pick up and play that game.
Same with like Smash Brothers, or there's no Mario Kart esports, is there?
No, I think that's tough because it's not really a skill as much as it is. You get a power. It's all random, power-ups and stuff. So I don't think you could.
Yeah, although you say that, the best Mario Kart players usually win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You do learn drift. I guess drifting.
You got to do drifting. My older daughter always is in first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still not that great at it, drifting in that game.
So good at it.
I think it's you're talking about exponential growth though. Yeah, I think it just gets bigger because it used to be YouTube was the big place that people would post their content and play, post their videos and let's plays and video content and even reviews. They've changed exponentially. Like it used to be, angry video game nerd. That's what the guy's name was, and him yelling at video games. And now that was early 2000s, and now that's seen as kind of dumb. And now it's more analytical videos.
Yeah.
And then with the Let's Plays, you don't ever see Let's Play because of Twitch.
Right. Everyone wants to see it live. Plus, I think a lot of the draw, I don't want to say most, but a lot of the draw of Twitch is the titters, too. There's a lot of accidental titters on there and stuff. And people, like, there's girls who have channels just dedicated to that. They'll, like, half-ass play a game, and they'll show their buns.
Yeah. Do you watch Twitch at all, Dan? Like, how much have you watched a Twitch stream before?
Not like a half hour,
Okay.
like one night.
Because I think that's the titters are definitely an appeal, but I also think it's
that's always interesting to me. So you might catch a boob or something, right?
It's illegal though. Like you could get your Twitch channel banned for that.
Yeah, they skirt this fine line between like showing just enough not to get their account banned and enough to keep subscribers and stuff.
Which is odd. It's just weird that you can on the same machine you're looking at that. You can go find full out, anything goes, no holds barred.
It's a mystery, though, Dan.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You can see everything you've ever dreamed of, but this girl's kind of almost showing it. Oh, yeah.
Chase.
Yeah.
It's still, romance is not dead.
Definitely not.
Foreplay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Twitch, because
plus if you play video games, you're a little hotter, right? So
yeah, definitely.
You're a 6 turns into an 8.
They seem to always on those video game websites get the hottest girl to be the main spokesperson.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're good at their job.
Beer invented that years ago. They figured that out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely, they say
but
it's
at your
changed,
booth at a convention or something, right?
They used to do that all the time at E3. They would have booth babes, and it was just women, pretty much Hooters waitresses walking around.
And they hadn't ever played that game? Or...
No, of course not. Yeah. So, but it's, I think that's somewhat, they'll never go away. And that's just always, that freaking porn is the reason why we have DVDs. Because, the porn industry is usually the industry that,
leads the way.
Leads the way, yeah. With Blu-ray and HD DVD. Yeah, I guess the porn industry had deals with Blu-ray. That's why Blu-ray won out.
Yeah,
and that's what the whole VR thing is. If they can, Jake and all them joke about porn VR, but hey, if that picks up, that will determine.
Porn VR is going to be huge.
Yeah, it will be, and that's what's gonna determine if VR is successful or not.
Well, did you see Oculus dropped their price again? It's now $400. Yeah. It's like basically cut in half, and it's really tempting now.
Yeah,
for the porn.
For the porn.
Yeah,
just the porn.
No other reason.
Like eventually, not too far away, right? 10 years, you're going to be able to. You could be in the video with Kim Kardashian.
10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
You get those real dolls now, too, right?
You'll get in your autonomous car, put on your headset, and go to work just getting sucked off by Kim K. And that's living the dream. That's the American dream.
It's the American dream. It's pretty much we should name the podcast The American Dream.
Right on.
Stars and Stripes.
Or by the time her kid is old enough, it'll be her kid.
Man. So, anyway, Dan, I guess thanks for coming on with us.
Well, hold on. Don't we have Twitter questions, Trey?
I didn't ask for Twitter questions.
You said you did.
Should've. No, I didn't.
At Chipotle, you said you did.
I didn't want to barrage Dan with questions, with dumb questions. But you do have a question for him, right?
Do I?
The bat?
Oh, yeah. What if a bat flew into space? That's from Mike Marshall.
What if a bat flew into space?
Mm-hmm.
What would happen?
I don't know. Just what if a bat flew into space? That's all he asked.
Was he totally baked when he asked this?
Probably.
I don't know. I guess it would probably pierce the ozone layer, and then all our oxygen would float out into space too.
Makes sense.
And then the Earth would it would bubble up like an eyeball would if it was in space.
Ooh.
And the Earth would explode.
I guess we'll let him know.
Yeah, we'll let him know. Well, thanks for coming on, Dan. We appreciate your time.
I want the questions. Bring up some questions.
Get some from last week.
Okay, we'll get some questions from last week.
That's all right. If you want to say goodbye to me, that's fine. I don't care. I'm good.
No, we'll get some from last week.
I got nothing to do.
They're always great questions.
Yeah,
or
always.
I got to get home and watch the ESPYs.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to watch the ESPYs.
Yeah, who watches that? Man. So let me find
people
some
with 3 hours to fill tomorrow.
I'll tell you, man.
And no sporting events?
Freaking Yahoo Sports Radio. That's all they talk about is just ESPYs, and I just want to freaking blow my brain out. Freaking Yahoo Sports Radio, whatever it's called.
So what's this commercial about? It's a game thing.
Oh, this is
Gamefly.com.
Yeah, this is like
we were
how
gonna
Netflix was originally, where you would send out for a DVD and they would mail it to you and you send it back. So if you don't want to spend $60 on a game, you pay them $10, $15 a month. They'll send you a game when you're done playing it. You send it back. They send you the next one on your list. You play that and so on. It's a pretty good deal. And Trey and I have talked about signing up for it, so we don't have to keep buying.
Yeah, we
these
never did
games.
though.
Yeah,
We didn't do that.
sorry.
I don't think we're doing reviews anyway anymore.
Good.
Dan, what's your top 5 favorite games of all time, if you can name them? Or what games do you probably have the best memories with?
Like video games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Tiger Woods Golf
Yeah.
was my favorite ever.
And
followed
online, how would you play that online if it was, wait, you said PlayStation 2, right?
No, it was PS4 or PS3.
PS3? Okay.
Probably PS4.
No, PS3 probably if it was,
Yeah, because it became
Yeah.
Rory McIlroy PGA Tour about 4 years ago.
yeah. So it's probably PS3.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that. I'm a Tiger guy, but no, we had some kind of an online hookup, and then I had a headset. Eventually, we would hook up a headset onto it, and you could talk to the guy. So he was in California, and I was here, and I played that like literally every night for almost a year, and it was great. We would, it had a little a thing where you could read the green, but to make it tougher, we would actually tape a index card to the screen,
Yeah.
so that you couldn't see that because we were getting so good at it. Just birdieing every hole and everything. So. Again, every time I talk about any of these games I've played, I want to attack it with, it was just a waste of time. All I was doing is killing time, like 2 hours a night, and it's hard to believe
You're
I
in a
was
safe
doing
harbor
it.
here. We're all good here.
Yeah.
We understand. We
Okay.
get it. We get you.
Yeah, they're all old games like that.
Yeah. No, sports games are really like. I would
I
like
love
to play
sports games. The NHL,
Yeah.
NHLPA, whatever. I would play that and then play a full season. I never did a full season of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's tough because I try to do that as a pitcher for MLB The Show, and you have to I started to just sort of
And then see what your stats are at the end.
Yeah, it was always tough. Did you ever create a character, Dan?
Like a baseball player or something?
Yeah.
No.
No.
That's always one of the most fun parts. Like Adam, he'll pull all the sliders up, and
Yeah.
the guy's got cheeks out to here and big old eyes, and still win the championship.
I would make mine look so. I'd make them look like aliens, and then I would just try to do like a gorilla. Just make them all kind of weird things.
Yeah.
Any other games you can remember?
Oh, am I still answering a question?
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna go football, the baseball one, whatever, Sonic the Hedgehog, just whatever I used to play for
Sure.
hours and hours and hours.
Hubert.
No, I never played Cubert. That's a
Trey.
stand-up video game though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's and I guess that's a video game though. We talk about video games here,
Yeah.
so yeah, of course I was around for Pac-Man, so
So Real Gustav asks,
I lived
which Brad Pitt movie would you prefer to have to live out the rest of your life in? 7, 12 Monkeys, or Cool World? Have you seen Cool World?
I don't think that's a real movie. No one's heard of Cool World.
No one's heard of Cool World?
The Brad Pitt movie?
I guess so.
What if you lived your life in 12 Monkeys? How does that end? Is there like the world dies of?
Is it the post-apocalyptic world, or is it the world about to end?
Well, he goes to the future, right?
No, he goes to
No,
the
he's
past.
in the future.
Yeah, he's in the future.
He's
goes
in
to
the future
past.
that was created by the
Mhm.
disease that was released,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But not by Brad Pitt and his cohorts, which they thought in the future it was.
I'm remembering how awful these questions were.
They're
last
very
week.
bad questions.
Yeah, we should wrap up.
Yeah.
Well, one more question, Dan. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
All right, we got to go.
Gotta go. Well, Dan, thanks again for coming up.
It's a sandwich which I like to shove in my mouth all at once, the whole thing, and then I take it out.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Rainbow Road.
yeah, we'll do it. But that was the Super GamesCast 64. Next week is our anniversary show where we look back at the first episode
Yep.
and then talk about. I want to talk about the.
How many of these have you done?
This is 43.
40. No. Probably 44
Something like
or something.
that.
Yeah.
Did a full year.
Yeah, full year of these. You can tell, right?
It's a finely tuned machine.
Oh my
Trey.
God,
Oh.
it's so finely tuned. It's so finely tuned. I need to get better at interviews. That's what I think.
That's okay.
But yeah. I want to talk about the Donkey Patrick Klepek whole video game journalism thing,
okay. Cool.
and we can review our first show then
Next week.
next week.
No
we'll do
Man's
that.
Sky, 2 hours.
Oh God, no. All right, so Dan, thanks again. Where can we find you, Dan? Do you have a podcast or something you can promote?
Just look around for me. Google me.
Google Dan McDowell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming up. We appreciate it.
Look at any of the local Eatsies. I'll be there.
Yeah, any local Eatsies, look there and you'll find them. Probably.
What's your Eatsies of choice?
Well, I live near the Grapevine one, so usually I eat there. But today I was at the Dallas one.
Nice.
As you can see, little Eatsies bag there.
Cute.
The Eatsies is so good.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
where can we find you, Austin?
At Helen Smeller as per usual, and at Sportstorm as per usual, and any of my websites.
Okay.
Yep.
You can find me. You want to get Rainbow Road ready? We can sing it for the class. You can find me at Cray Trey Vids on Twitter. I have a YouTube channel, Cray Trey 1310. Have a new video up on the film influences of Resident Evil 7. You can also find all my stuff at TreyTMitchell.com.
Read Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll do that. We'll get you on, and we'll talk about it if you want to come up again.
Oh no,
he's hesitating on that. Yeah,
next year.
Okay.
Yeah, the anniversary.
You got the song?
Take it away, Trey.
It's called a road, it's called the Rainbow Road. It is a road that you go. It's called a road, it's called the Rainbow Road. And you will know when you get there. It's called a road, it's called the Rainbow Road. It is a road that you go. It's a road that you go when you die. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's the road we're all gonna go. It's the road called Rainbow Road. Got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's the road called Rainbow Road. It's the road we're all gonna go. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle. It's Rainbow Road, it's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle. Rainbow Road.
See you next week, Trey.